Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and we have a whole bunch of Kaisers to go through. We have a whole bunch of new ones, including some Halloween edition ones, which we will show at the end. So this is the Kaiser Original 2. Now, I always love the original. They had the regular original and then a large original. All of them have been great, but we have a titanium one here with a very deep hollow ground blade in S45VN. Then check this out. We got a micarta version in 14C28N with somewhat of like an Inkosi blade shape. I'm going to call it just a sheep's foot. This is one of my favorite blade shapes. It's kind of like a drop foot, a little bit of both, like a sheep's foot and a drop point kind of mixed together. And it's one of my all-time favorite blade shapes. Man, I wish this one had this blade. I'm thinking about swapping them. I bet it would work. I bet it would work. So maybe I might try that out because that sounds awesome. They might, I'm not sure if the titanium one comes with this blade shape, but it probably does. Anyways, but if not, might as well just swap it because I love me some titanium. We have a reversible deep carry clip. This is probably a titanium clip because we do have titanium scales, blue thumb studs, very easy to get to, super easy. Great action on a clutch lock. Their clutch lock is adjustable, so you can adjust the tension on it to give yourself a stronger detent and or a stronger lockup or both. Man, super ergonomic. I like this a lot, like a lot. I think this is damn near like a perfect lightweight EDC blade. From the pinch grips, forward grips, you know, like the blade shape, the geometry, the steels, you know, all of them. Deep carry clip that is reversible. This one is not in set like the titanium one, but no big deal. All I gotta say is, man, both of these are phenomenal. And for a Tonto blade, this is a great one because you have a primary tip that you can use. And you have that little tiny bit, you can call it a belly because that's not really a secondary tip, but you could probably use it. You got a nice straight edge there for long slices. This is, you know, also a very functional blade shape. Now let's get to the next one. Now this next one, oh my, do I like this one. This is the Quoll. S45VN titanium handle with a Damascus inlay. As you can see, and it is a polished Damascus. Gorgeous. Look at that. You don't see that very often on knives like this. Man, the action is so good. The front flipper is, I always say this, if it's a slim knife, the front flippers tend to be easier to use just because you don't have to go all the way out here to get leverage. You have the strongest point, you know, where you're right here. So your grip is really strong and you can get a really good thwack out of it. You can do the nice reach over. Not a fan of the jimping on the front flipper, but the front flipper is so good that it doesn't even need jimping and it's going to work just fine. But that would be one negative if I was going to nitpick it all, is just I wish the jimping was sharper because, you know, that corner right there would be nice if it was sharper, but man, it's just so good it doesn't matter. Then you have the thumb disc, which for the reverse flick, it's kind of tight because you can see there, here we have a nice opening, right? So if you're lefty, man, this is going to be awesome for you. But it sits proud, so I can easily still get it. So I haven't misfired a reverse flick yet. So it says a lot. And the thumb flick is also really good. So yeah, it depends on how you feel about thumb discs, but I'll say this is a good one. Great access to the lock bar. You guys know I love that. And you can see that steel lock bar insert inside there, holding the detent, you know, and, you know, being a steel lock face. So it's steel on steel contact. I can feel it is on ceramic cage bearings. T8 hardware all the way around. I mean, they almost look like T10s. Look at that. Wow. It almost does look like a T10 or something. No, not a T10. It's a T8, but man, I like large looking hardware. Titanium mill pocket clip. Feels good. Ramp looks good. Stop pin placement. Could be better, but it's still out of the way, I think. Right. Let me see it again. Sorry, I keep hitting this camera. Yeah, it is a little close right here. So that is a downside. That's a lot of life. So I don't think you'll ever sharpen that much out, but it'd be nice if it was just moved back, you know, or something like that. But either way, it doesn't matter with this. That's a good one. That is a banger. Next we have this guy, which is the goat or dodo. The dodo. The dodo, they do have a fixed blade version of this as well. There is a flipper tab. Great action on that flipper. You can light switch it. Very comfortable for the light switch. It is in Nitro V steel with a rich light handle. So Nitro V steel, somewhat of a little bit of a different style blade shape because you have a curve, slight curve on the edge, but it's also more sheep's foot or dowel shaped. So man, talk about utility cutting. That would be awesome. But then it has the karambit ring. Not sure how good this would be for that type of application, but I'll tell you what, utility cuts, opening things up, it'd be really good. And I suppose it could potentially be good because it's going to trap material. So I guess the edge and this tip is what you're fighting with. But good access to the lock bar. You can see that rich light. And it doesn't have a deep carry clip, which is awesome. Because, you know, at least you'll have the ring sticking out so you can easily yank it out. Now, there is no wave feature. So, you know, take that however you want. A lot of people would probably just pull it out with their pinky and then flip it back and flip it up like that. It is nice and comfortable. Not really my jam, to be honest. But you know, good functional jimping, great fidget factor. That is one place where this shines, man. If you like karambit style blades that are like EDC style blades, this is a good one. Very, very fidget friendly. Love the action. Love the break of that detent. And yeah, as far as negatives go, you know, plunge grind could be better, you know, just little stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not going to beat it up right now. It's either your style or not. That's the way this knife is. Sometimes you get knives where it's just like, you know, some things are intended for certain reasons, and I'm not going to bitch about them. Now we have a couple fixed blades before we get to the Halloween edition knife. So this is a dagger in M390. You can see right there, this is the Defensor, and it is an Ultra, or wait, DLC Ultra. Not sure what that means. I'm guessing it's just a stonewash DLC. You can see it does have a nice DLC. I like the satin on the handle, and then you got the stonewash on the blade. The jimping is covering this thing. So, you know, for the reverse grip, you got a big ring for spinning. Ooh, and a ceramic ball. So you can break glass and or, you know, use it as an attitude adjuster. The edge is single edge, so you have the serrations and a partial edge. Typically not a fan of partial serrated blades. They can be a little bit more difficult to sharpen. Not saying they're hard or anything. The only thing is you can only sharpen that edge, and then the serrations you'll have to sharpen separately. But for what this thing's intended for, you know, is it that big of a deal? No, it's probably, it might even benefit you in that regard. And for the first time, they're using an ulti clip. So I've never seen them use an ulti clip before, which is cool. So an ulti clip works like this. You put this over your pants or your pocket or whatever you want to clip it to. And then when you hammer this down, it puts all the pressure down. Now, in order to get it off, which can be a struggle sometimes, you have to pry this thing up and take the tension off. So this thing hangs on probably the best. That's why a lot of people like it, because it hangs on really, really well. It's never going to fall out of your pocket without you releasing that. And this thing is not easy to release. But yeah, it is a self-defense knife. Next, we have a bigger knife. Somewhat kind of reminds me of like a K-bar. This is the Camp 180, and it is a, I'm guessing it's a full tang. It actually might be a stick tang. So, oh, no, but I can see the screws in there. Okay, so we know it is pretty much a full tang. It's just got a G10 wrap around it. It feels extremely, extremely solid. AEBL is one of the toughest steels, especially for a stainless. It is robust. So this thing could be, I guess, somewhat of a fighting and camp knife. It doesn't seem like it's really designed for camping. I don't know why it's named the Camp, but you could use it for camping. You know, it's kind of like a multi-purpose knife, I guess you could say. The retention from the sheath, really good. Very little rattle or tap. Great push-off point. You got a nice adjustable tech lock there, so you can, you know, adjust it on your belt and also put it on easily or take it off easily without removing your entire belt. Clip point blade. like I said, thicker geometry, very ergonomic. And if you ever did need to take these scales off, I'm guessing you can just remove those and yank it off. You can see that they are put together. So this might be glued too, I'm not sure. But pretty damn cool. It's just, you know, like I said, it's somewhat of like a multi-purpose fixed blade. Then we have this little buoy here. This is the Beaver. Beaver 2 is an AEBL with a satin finish and burlap micarta. It seems like some decent burlap. I like the orange liners in there too, and I like how the jimping is done on all the materials like that. And then if you look, you got a nice poon action right there for your thumb. Very, very comfortable. The handle, while it is short and stumpy, because of that stumpiness, you can hang on to it really, really well. My pinky does kind of land right there on the hole. Don't really care. It's not big enough for a finger or anything, so I'm really not sure why. I guess weight relieving maybe, or maybe just yeah, I don't see it being a way to really take it out or anything. But anyways, because you got a push off point, and you do have an adjustable belt clip as well on this one. Geometry, you know, it's robust. It's a robust geometry knife. This is going to be more for, I would say, general outdoor use, but it is micarta, which depending on you, you might or might not want a hunting knife to have micarta. Usually you want G10 because, you know, guts and stuff like that can get into the micarta, make it stink and be a little bit more difficult to wash off, depending on if it's got a clear coat on it and stuff like that. And the finish and type of micarta, so on and so on and so on. Anyways, so I, you know, this is kind of just an EDC knife, I guess. Maybe an outdoorsman's EDC. Not really sure because it does have a clip point buoy style blade shape, but it is compact. So to me, a knife like this doesn't really make sense, I guess. They do have other versions though with other blade shapes of the Beaver that are really, really cool. Now, let's get to some Halloween edition knives. So here we have the other blade shape of the original too. So this one has the regular drop point. So you have the Nkosi, well, drop foot, drop point, and then Tonto. And the drop point is a beautiful drop. It drops all the way down and it has a nice deep hollow grind. And then we got the pumpkin face and the bat with the orange. I like that, the orange right there. That looks dope with the purple. And you can see we got Trick or Treat edition, and it does come with a little pumpkin bead. All of these knives come with a pumpkin bead, by the way, so just know that if I don't show it. Deep carry clip, not inset, but it does have flat screws and it has, again, really good action. So this would be kind of cool. You know, maybe I should do some blade swaps with this one too. No, I'm just joking. I like the drop point on this one. It's one of the most versatile blade shapes that they have in the their blade shape category. This one's still my favorite though. Okay, let's get to the next one. Now this next one, also with the pumpkin, has the Trick or Treat once again. And this one is, by the way, the Tomb. The Kaiser Tomb in Nitro V with a PVD coated drop point blade with an amazing front flipper. This is very easy to use. Like this is, it's not a strong detent. You have the thickness is really good for a lot of leverage. You can easily do the reach over, and because the detent is, you know, a button lock detent, it's not super strong, so it's very easy to deploy. I like how they did the sharpening notch right there, kind of separate your finger from the edge. Nice geometry, nice and thin. And then you have the acrylic handle with the skeleton on the inside. So you got a body in there. And the drop, very, very smooth. And as you can see, it is a body inside of a tomb. Pretty cool. Next, we have a utility blade. So this one is the Kaiser Drop Bear Utility Blade, and it has SK5 steel razor blade replacements inside the box, so you can replace them. They do send with the box extra razors, and you just, there's different ones. Some of them have a button, some of them have these. You just, you know, loosen them and pull it out. Some of them are just a push button. Really good action. Love the Drop Bear's action. And this is the Drop Bear 2, by the way, so it's not as big as the original one, which was not a big knife as it is. Beautiful jimping on, you know, the spine right there. Very comfortable in the hand. And we got the purple with the pumpkin and the bats. Once again, reversible clip. So if you are a lefty, this is perfect. And this would be just a general, you know, just a general purpose utility blade for just about anything. So this is a very useful knife, regardless of Halloween. Next, this thing is actually in premium materials. This is the Trestle. Well, maybe not full premium materials, but this is the Trestle. We have titanium carbon fiber. Look at that. And they even got the ghost face in the carbon fiber. Look at that. That's crazy. G10 underlay. Like I said, titanium, and then 14C. Listen to this walk and talk. Hopefully it's coming over the mic, but it's got a chirp every time you open and close it, and it's got such a smooth action. This one's great, like for, you know, if you have dexterity issues, because this one you don't have to nail it, you can just pinch it, and it is so smooth. And then also it doesn't clap shut like really hard. So once you get past there, look at that, it's out. So you don't have that struggle with this. It's very easy. The secondary or the stop, the halfway stop, it's almost a 3/4, yeah, I'll call it halfway. Halfway stop is not hard to get past, but you can feel that it still has a nice pop, because at that point you got the most leverage to snap it open. Very comfortable in the hand. It does have a lanyard pin back here. So, you know, if you want to put it in a slip or something like that, did not come with a slip, but this is an easy one you get a slip for. It's a basic shape, clip point Bowie style blade shape. Like I said, it is in 14C28N. Beautiful knife. And then the last one, we have a little sticker. So this is the Hidden Agenda in AEBL with PVD coated blade, and it has an aluminum /G10 handle. So, okay, so this has aluminum back here. And then we have, looks like titanium hardware. And then we have, it might be just anodized, or I mean just painted, but I believe that's anodizing. I don't know, maybe not. No, actually, no, it does look like a coating. So purple coated hardware, PVD blade, and you got the skeleton in there. Look at that. And this is a, you know, you can already see what it is. It's a double-edged dagger. So it is sharp on both ends, and it does have a sheath with the pumpkin face and the trick or treat on the back. Adjustable belt clip, very comfortable in the hand. You got the jimping in all the right spots and texturing in places like this. This is a Justin Lundquist design, which these little things are somewhat of his trademark, so it did work out in this regard with this design. So lots of texture on the handle. I do feel very comfortable with sticking it into something either way. So there you guys go. I guess we could close this out by saying happy Halloween, everybody. Work hard, stay tough. Till next time, peace.